It is that time again. You are tuned into Zim Papers TV and you're watching exclusive interviews. And my name is Itai Mutinhiri. Good evening. Tonight we have a very special guest. To me, she's a little sister because I've watched her grow and blossom into this beautiful young lady who performs like out of this world. She always sports a wide hairstyle and is always sweet, and her name is Tamy Moyo. Tammy, hey girl.
What's good?
I've been looking for you.
Really?
Exclusive interviews, and I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you so much for having me. Such an honor to be here.
All right. And the last time I saw you was like, is it like a month ago?
A month ago,
At
yes.
the UK visas?
Yes.
And you were getting ready for Zimfest?
Yes, I was.
How was that? How did that go?
Zimfest was crazy. It
Right.
was an incredible experience, you know, being on lockdown for the longest time ever and having to perform virtually. Imagine how you feel after almost 2 years of not performing in front of a crowd.
I know.
An actual live audience. That was insane. I enjoyed it. I was lined up with a couple of amazing acts as well, your job praisers, your gemmas. And just to see people and just experience that again, to hear them sing. Sometimes even you forget your lyrics, you can just throw out your mic.
I know. I was about to ask you that, to say, how did it feel when the people in the diaspora were singing along to your songs? Oh my gosh, I missed that.
Oh, it was incredible. It was my first Zimfest as well.
Okay.
So I was pretty nervous about it, but it really went well and I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, I got to find out a little later that you lost a loved one.
Yes, I
when
did.
you were in the UK. Our condolences to you for
very
that.
much. Yeah.
Sorry. All right, but let's get into it. Who is Tamy Moyo to your fans out there that want to know? Ndiani anonzi Tamy.
Okay, so Tamy Moyo is a 23-year-old singer-songwriter slash guitarist, just newly added title actress, which is exciting. I've been singing my whole life. I started my journey when I was 7. I released my first 2 singles when I was 13, called Celebrate Your Life and African Beat. If you want, you can go look it up on YouTube, but I that was the old me.
Okay.
And then obviously I released my first project, single project, which was called The 18th Roller Coaster in 2016. That's where you find songs like Sango, Ndibereke, Tonight. And then afterwards, it was just like a party festive release and a couple of singles with some incredible human beings as well, from Takura, Dobodon, Anati Odoboy, Job Praiser. Just, it's been a roller coaster. And here we are. I'm about to do Budzijena, the face.
Now, before we continue with the music, you just mentioned you're into acting as well. Tell us about that. I'm so interested in knowing.
So yeah, I got my first role as Sarah in a movie called Sarah, not Sarah, Sarah. In a movie called The Gonarajo, the movie.
Okay.
And it speaks on anti-poaching in our society. And I'm a village girl in this movie.
Oh,
so
wow.
you can imagine. It was such an incredible experience. I got to learn a lot. Got to meet some veterans in the industry. Eddie Sandifolo, if you know him. Tendai Chitima, who's on Netflix as well, which is exciting.
Yeah.
So that was my debut performance as an actress, and we did something else, but it's yet to come out.
Okay.
Yeah.
We wish you well in all of that. I can't wait to watch that. And you mentioned that you started your music when you were much younger, and I remember you curtain raised for Joe Thomas.
Yes.
How was that?
I remember just thinking to myself, I know this song. And I remember people screaming because he was right next to me. But I was like, oh, what's the big deal? Everybody knows the song. Who's this guy? Yeah. Only years later, I think to myself, I'm like, whoa, it was the Joe Thomas, because I was 10 at the time. But now that I look back on it, I am so blessed and so privileged to have, you know, that on my resume. He is a legend.
He is.
And I love his music. And I hope that one day he'll see this and see how much I appreciate that moment so much.
Yeah. And you also performed at Madison Square Garden.
Yes, I did.
Yes. How was that as well?
Do you know, half the times I look back and I'm like, why did I not realize how huge this
Back
was?
then.
But I'm so grateful because it's part of the journey. I was 9 years old with the African Children's Choir, and I remember seeing a couple of pictures of people who performed at Madison Square Garden, because in the backstage they have images of people who've performed, and I remember just staring at Michael Jackson's picture, and I was like, wow,
I was part of
I'm
this.
really here. It was great.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm friends with your dad, you know that.
Yes.
And I know your parents manage you.
Yes.
And I imagine being managed by my parents.
I hope they're not watching.
You hope they're not watching.
Okay, so
how is that? Like, how do you take it?
It's crazy. It's crazy. Half the time, it's a whole 2-on-1 experience because they're ganging up on me half the time.
I imagine that.
And the generation gap
is
definitely there. So there's two of them saying, "Oh no, this is not appropriate," and I'm here. I'm like, we're in the 21st century. You know. But funny enough, the dynamic is that my dad is the one who's a bit more free with me.
Okay.
He'll say, "Do you want to wear shorts? Go for it.
Yeah.
You know, do you want to wear something tiny?" And my mom is
but
like,
mom is like,
that's
a little bit too much.
It's a little bit, but they're incredible. You know, they're such a strong support system for me. And I'm so grateful because they've protected me from a lot of things. The industry is crazy. It can be a hectic space, and you need a support structure, a really strong one. And my dad is a music genius on his own.
He is.
Yes. So he's like my sounding board. If his no is a no, it's a no. You know, there can be 10,000 people in the room saying yes. I'll take his no any day over anybody else's yes. So yeah, he's incredible. And my mom as well. She is. Yeah. She's great. She's
mom,
amazing.
you know.
She's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and you've done a lot of collaborations with a lot of Zim artists, big names like you mentioned, Job Praiser. Which one was your favorite? Like, which one is the best one?
It's so hard to say because I enjoyed each and every one of them. I'm deliberate about who I collaborate with.
Okay.
You know, I look at energy more than just, are you an amazing creative? Which is also one of the things I look at, but do we click? Do we share musical chemistry? You know, do we think on the same wavelength? Do you think better than me? Do I appreciate you? So each one was incredible, but I remember just watching Dobadon on Beautiful Untitled. And he was wearing shades, and you know, you'd be writing your notes, trying to come up with the right words, and he just walked in there like it's nothing. And he just started singing. And you know, he's got a crew behind, so everybody's bobbing their heads. They're like, he's such great energy, and he's so chilled. He's such a chilled human being. It's incredible. I enjoy that. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite songs. And I'm just wondering, who would you like to collaborate with internationally?
Internationally, I think that's not a hard one.
Hey girl, who's your favorite?
I love Beyonce. I hope that one day
and that's the kind of energy you have when you're on stage.
Really?
Yes.
I hope it's a good thing.
It is.
Those are huge shoes to fill, but she's incredible. I love her. I love everything about her. You know, from, I don't know her personally, obviously, but from what I see, she exudes excellence. She's all about excellence. She doesn't say much. She's always about her grind, and the work speaks for itself, and I think that's what I want for myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about your accomplishments.
Yes.
How many awards does Tamy have?
I don't keep count, hey? I don't keep count. But I think 4 major ones. Last year I got my first huge award locally. That was the Namas for Best Female 2020.
Wow.
And I remember thinking to myself, is this happening?
Is this real?
Is this me?
Aww.
You know, I write down the things I want to achieve, you know. And half the time I give myself a timeline, and it's so amazing that some things happen way before, you know, you expect it to. And the Namas were one of those. I remember performing at the Namas when I was 9 years old. One of my first performances.
Really?
Yes. And Carl Joshua Ngube was the MC, and he was like, "Oh, we want you to sing the national anthem."
Aww.
And to watch my journey and then to win one for myself was such a win. I was, privileged and blessed. And then this year we did Star FM Awards. And I got 3 of those, which was amazing.
3.
Again, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
don't be humble about it. Just say it. 3 whole awards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, let's continue with your accomplishments. I also saw you're now brand ambassador for Zimoko.
Yes.
And girl is rolling in this huge maroon Haval car. Is huge. When I looked at it, I was like, girl, is that you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How did you feel when you got that call? What happened? Tell us what happened.
Do you know what? Being so young and being a female artist, you have so many closed doors. You knock on too many doors and everyone is like, no. Mm-hmm. So when it happened, I was like, it's one of those, Are they really going to do it? Or they're thinking about it? So they called us in. And I remember just telling my parents, just go for the meeting. Just leave me alone. Because I'm so used to walking in so many meetings. But then they were like, no, you know what? Stay positive. And it's going to happen. It's going to manifest. And I remember just saying to myself, I'm not going to say anything to anyone until this is final. Yeah. And for a month, we were discussing, what do we want to achieve? What are we about, And then it happened. And end of June 2021, we announced it. And I remember just thinking to myself, wow, this is me. It's happening. History in the making. And I'm excited and I'm so blessed and so privileged to be part of such a brand that is all about excellence.
I know.
And I'm happy that they chose me. They are on a campaign to try and push young people who are on the move, on the go. They're pushing Haval Jolion, which is what I'm driving, 2021 make.
I saw it.
Which is exciting. So that's what they're pushing, and they needed a young face, who's on the move.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm so blessed and privileged that they picked me. And I hope that this will be I know it's going to be a very fruitful partnership. It has been,
Yeah.
I get a lot of people saying, oh no, this is amazing. So what is Zimoko really about? So many questions. People asking questions that they would never ask before, which is what I'm here for as an ambassador, to represent that. It's exciting.
When are you going to take me on a ride, girl?
We can do it right after this.
Right after this.
Right after this.
Okay. Now, when people achieve so much, there's always people that are not happy. Not everyone will be happy about that. You'll always get trolls, talking bad about you. I mean, we're all human, of course, Tinokanganisa. But how do you handle trolls? Especially internet trolls.
Yes.
Social media.
Yes.
How do you handle those?
Social media is such a scary space, you know. And do I handle it is the question. I do what I can within my means at the time. And most of the time, sometimes I just decide to filter it out, You open the profile sometimes, you see like who's saying this about me. And half the time, you ask yourself, why? I don't know you.
I don't know you.
We've never met.
Me.
Why?
I know.
But I cry a lot, which is part of life. I've accepted that. If you don't let yourself feel those things and you harbor it in, you're gonna explode. But I have such a strong support structure. My family is there for me. I have a small circle of friends, a really small circle of friends. Yeah. And they're very supportive. And sometimes I just stay off the internet for my own good. Yeah.
Okay, now let's get into the most exciting part of exclusive interviews. There is no way you were going to go without talking about this whole thing that's going on social media. Tamy Moyo, Holy 10, is busy saying, yo, I love Tamy. I mean, what is going on? First of all, is Tamy taken?
I'm not at
What?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Come on, I'm your sister, and the parents are not watching.
We need to go for that drive after this, okay, so we can dive into all this. But regarding the issue of Holy 10,
no, first of all, are you taken?
I'm not gonna say. I wish not to say. I wish not to say
but
on
it's
air.
on social media. We need to talk about it, and I need you to tell me. Okay, anyway, let me just be straight up. Are you still with Chiweda?
Do you promise we're staying intact? To give me love and not take any back? To realize that our problems are not that unique. Most of the people are making it back. I'm gonna say Ndakudara Viru. I know we're never alone when we talk, cause when you talk I know kunz got my deal. It's what the walls do, gotta go through, I gotta show you something. I'm gunning for you mama, coming for you partner, tell talk about me. From the other life, I know I'm customized now.
Oh my God. Are you really going to do this
I'm
to
just
me?
going to put you on the spot.
Okay,
I'm
yes,
sorry.
I will answer this. I'm taken.
Okay. All right.
I am.
Now let's get into the Holy 10 thing. Did he actually approach you? Because, you know, for some people would just look at it and think it's like a publicity stunt. Did he actually approach you in your inbox? I'm sure he's got your phone number. Or it's just social media. Oh, I like Tammy or whatever. Did he actually approach you?
Not directly, no. Not directly, no.
Okay.
And you know what? I understand. He is, you know, approaching his peak. He's doing quite well for himself. And sometimes I guess that's exciting for you, you know, as a young person. You know the amount of influence you have. So you feel limitless. I understand that. So maybe he felt, you know, I can come out of this and I know a lot of people are going to back me up on that, which is exciting, you know. He does have the influence. But I appreciate him as an artist. We have such great chemistry as artists. And I remember sitting down with him in studio. We were working together and just realizing how brilliant a mind he is. I think the music that he puts out speaks for itself. You cannot deny that. He's such an incredible creative.
He is.
And I appreciate him in that manner. He's great. And we chat over the phone.
Yeah.
So yeah, we yet to have this particular discussion, but I know he's taken now, you know, which is, you know, what everybody wishes for. Love is such a beautiful thing, and I'm happy that he's found that.
Yeah.
And I wish him nothing but the best, you know.
Okay.
I appreciate him as a musician. He's incredible.
Yeah, he recently called you a sister, so I guess,
Which
you
is
know,
great,
he's
which
trying
is
to
not
get
bad.
over you. But if you were single, would you consider dating him?
Consider, yeah, you know, I guess he is a human being at the end of the day, and it's all about knowing each other as people outside of the workspace. What is he like? I don't really know much, you know, so you need to get to know each other, get to hang out a little bit more out of the studio space. So yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with exploring the options if I was single. Yeah. But for now, you know, he's in a good space and I'm happy for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on from that. What are 3 things that people don't know about Tammy? Yeah.
Do you want to know
Interesting things. Please, girl. Not just the basic stuff.
Interesting things. I don't think there's anything interesting.
Come on, girl.
I'm a big sister of 6.
What?
Yes. People think that I'm an only child.
Yeah.
I'm a big sister of 6.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and 1 brother, 5 sisters. And then, what else is interesting about me? Okay, in primary school, this is so strange, okay, and I'm putting myself out there. In primary school, I was such a weird child. I used to eat pencil tips, which is so strange. I used to eat all sorts of things. Paper.
Oh my God.
Paper. This is so embarrassing, but yeah, you asked for the interesting stuff.
Yes.
And the last thing, I think people don't know that Vudzijena came to be after a whole weird hair incident.
Tell us about that.
I asked for color in my hair, and I went home with a few yellow patches in my in my hair.
I can imagine that. Yeah.
And I remember one side was cut short and the other, it was really, really bad because my hair was falling out and I had to shoot the next day. I think it was for Kwandinova.
Yeah.
I think, and I remember just saying, what are we going to do? The shoot is in the morning.
Yeah.
Then we just went and we looked for white braid. My hairstylist was like, why don't you try white braid? I was like, really? I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared. Like, I've never seen anybody with white braid.
Yeah.
You know, that's such, and you know how people are, they'll be like, Kochiko, sister.
It looks so amazing on you.
Oh, yeah.
It looks so beautiful.
Then afterwards, I was like, wow. You know, what you don't try, you'll never know. You know, just be bold. So I use the white hair as a statement to remind myself before anybody else that, you know, you can be bold, you can make bold moves.
Yeah.
You can stand out. You just have to try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now tell us about the project Vudzijena. I
Yeah.
saw a little snippets of the upcoming videos and they are fire.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Vudzijena is soon to come out end of this month, and I'm excited. Of course, I did announce on social media that because of the loss of my mom, I would take time out to be with family, because that happened when we were overseas. We never got to see people. So coming back to that was overwhelming. But this is my love letter to my mom, who is late now. She believed in me so much, and I remember she said, I wish you would do Zimfest. I wish you do Zimfest. And she passed on a few days before we did Zimfest, and that was always her wish. So I thought I would take time out and just make sure that this is the perfect love letter to her. She would have loved it. But beyond, it's my second album, and obviously that's nerve-wracking, and I'm excited about it. It's a story about so many things. My journey from the 18th roller coaster, which was 2016, to 2021. You know, a lot of people see the music, but they don't understand what goes into the making of the music. And I think when I wrote Vudzijena, I wrote that in mind. Social media is pushing the agenda of good is not good enough anymore. And a lot of young people are falling prey to that. You know, I can't put myself out there because I'm not like so-and-so. Failure. You know, I'm 23, I came out of high school straight into music, and there's a lot of things that people don't teach us about that you discover on your own during this phase. So I talk about that, and I hope that somebody can relate. It talks about empowering young females, young males as well, failure, and how it's okay to talk about that. And just my journey from not going to school, you know. Family will ask so many questions. Do you
feel like you missed out on
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I feel
do
like...
you hope to maybe go
yes,
back
I
to
do.
school?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
You know, I've just said I'm never too late for anything. I'm exactly where I need to be in life. And I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to perfect my craft, and I'm going to pray that everything comes together.
Yeah. And who did you work with on the album?
I work with so many incredible human beings, from Charlie K to Rodney Beats to Chiweda himself. There's a lot of production that went in there. There's a new producer called Manucci. He's amazing as well. And we had a strong production team from Andy Kata Films to Black consultants who we've been working with for a long time.
The snippets, I was like, I can't wait. Like,
and Fafi's in there
and
somewhere.
Fafi's in there.
Yeah.
Any musicians you collaborated with?
Yes, but I think you can check the playlist, which is coming out very soon.
Okay, we can't wait. So when should we expect?
End of this month. End of this month.
Me.
I know.
I've been waiting.
I know.
Okay.
And thank you so much for your patience. Hey, it's a process, but I do hope that I've put my heart and my soul into it. You know, and I hope that the work speaks for itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, maybe to close off, what can you say to that little girl that aspires to be where you are, but that doesn't really picture themselves, you know, succeeding? It's so hard, especially for females, to break into this media industry.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, what do you have to say to them?
I think, first of all, you are exactly where you need to be. And once you figure that out in life, you know what to do from then onwards. Dig deeper into yourself, into your core. Who are you? And the world is waiting to experience you. Some of the greatest people we know out there, we know them because they stand out. They're not afraid to be themselves. From Michael Jackson to Beyonce. Just remember to be yourself, to know who you are, to use what you have. That's why I'm saying you are exactly where you need to be. Remember that, and from then onwards, run your race, run it diligently, and you've got everything it takes to be at the top of that mountain. You've got everything you need. And stay prayed up. And the last thing, which is definitely not the least, opportunity favors the prepared. Stay ready. Your moment can be now. Your moment can be tomorrow, 10 years later. Stay ready.
Very inspiring. I can't believe you're actually 23, girl. You're so wise.
Thank you.
Okay, before you go again, I can't let you go before I hear the vocals.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah, just pick a song that maybe your fans love.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think because you asked me to speak to somebody out there.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of people come to me and they say, we really love the song because it speaks to me. So this is just a reminder that you're beautiful. You're beautiful. Baby, no. Right now. Wakanagaiwe. Wakanagaiwe.
Tamy, Thank you so much for coming to Exclusive Interviews.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, I was hoping we'd have this in the UK.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Next time.
Next time. All right, guys, there you have it. Exclusive interviews with Tamy. Very inspiring words out there to the young. And remember, we're living in COVID times. Stay safe, mask up, sanitize always. From Exclusive Interviews and the crew behind the scene, it's bye-bye.